Hello, this is Father Ken now, and welcome to the new episode of Living with the Saints. In this episode, I would like to share with you the 16 martyrs of the Carmel of Compiegne in France. I'm reading this from the Word on Fire website, written by Father Steve Grunon. He wrote that these 11 nuns, 3 lay sisters and 2 externs, were murdered in a public execution by guillotine on July 17, 1794. The sisters lived in a Carmelite convent of the Theresian Reform. That's the reform of the great Saint Teresa of Avila. This meant that their observance of their vows was strict and their lives were completely cloistered. They entered Carmel with the intention of never leaving its enclosure. There, in that space, they live a life of prayer for the sake of the world by living apart from the world. So the revolutionary government of France declared that the Sisters of Carmel of Compiegne were enemies of the state. Why? Because of their radical renunciation of worldly concerns, the consecration of their lives in humble service of Christ, and their observance of prayer as a total way of life. All this was considered to be a crime because it resisted what the state had determined and declared to be acceptable and reasonable behavior. The sisters defied this ban on their way of life. They were arrested, placed on trial, accused of treason, and then sentenced to death. The sisters were then transported to the town center where a frenzied mob awaited them. The mob was stunned to silence by the appearance of the sisters, who, even though bereft their religious garb, bore themselves with a dignity that was described by an onlooker as akin to a bride presenting herself for marriage. The silence was broken only by the singing of the sisters as they chanted the hymn Veni Creator Spiritus. One by one, the sisters made their way to the guillotine, youngest to oldest, each sister pausing to kneel before the prioress, asking permission to die, mother, to which the mother superior responded, "Go, my daughter." One of the nuns, 78 years old, Sister Mary of Jesus Crucified, was heard to say to the executioner, "I forgive you, my friends. I forgive you with all that longing of heart which I would that God forgive me." The state had ordered their deaths, but their final act of obedience was not to the state, but to their mother in religious life. The Mother Superior was the last to be killed. The revolutionary government of France fell 10 days after the execution of the sisters. I think the Carmelite sisters played a vital role for the collapse of this revolutionary government. I hope we get inspired by the 16 martyrs of Compiegne, that we are willing to die as a martyr if God is calling us to be one, and also be able to forgive those who are harming us. The living saint, Jesus, Mary, Joseph, we trust in you.